Hello, hello. Round of applause. Hmm. What a good day to be alive. What's today? Monday? Monday, June 30th? Yes.
YouTube, what it do, baby? What it do?
Hello, YouTube.
Hope y'all feeling all right, man.
Hope and pray.
Woo!
On this good Monday.
Good Monday. We starting the week off, right?
Okay. Starting the week off great. Starting the week off great.
We wrap up a couple things and we gonna get into it, man. As always, make sure you wipe your feet at the door. You know, when you come to somebody's house, don't be rude. Show love, show respect. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, show love, share the
Mm.
video. It's really going down, baby. Black Elvis podcast.
Yes. Like he said, make sure you follow and like the video. Pretty please. Yes. It's always good to show support and show love.
Yeah, I mean, let me do something. How you feeling today, man? Before I introduce my renowned special guest, how you feeling tonight?
I am feeling blessed. I am feeling divinely feminine and energized, well
Love it,
rested.
love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
So, man, we got a special show tonight, man. Just good vibes, divine vibes all around. I got a very special guest. Um, just she does so much. Just want to, spread the love, positivity. We're gonna touch on mental health tonight. Top up some really good game. You know what I'm saying? I got Miss Mia Justine. She is a celebrity assistant to the Bernie Mac Foundation. A
Yes.
published model. Come on, man, give it up for that. Like, it's levels to it. She is an entrepreneur. Her business is Justine Fitness. Tell them about, a little bit of what you do, man. I know I can tell them, but you tell them, who you are and what you do, Miss Mia. Go in.
Absolutely. So, my name is Mia Justine, as he stated. Um, I have a couple different things I dip my toes in here. The main thing that has been carrying me along has been me being the celebrity assistant to the Bernie Mac Foundation. That role has instilled wisdom in me, truly. Working with patients who I call sarcoidosis warriors on a
Mm,
day to day basis allows me to really humanize myself. It allows me to take myself away from the day to day action and really get a feel for other people's struggle. So, being a celebrity assistant to the Bernie Mac Foundation for 4 or 5 years now has really taught me a lot in my young, youthful years in my early 20s, right? The next thing I do is I'm a model. I'm a published model from Chicago. I've been a model since 2019, and we are still rocking and still rolling. I brought the modeling over here to New Orleans, which leads me into my next thing. I study computer science, cybersecurity. Okay, so I'm graduating next summer, this time next summer, and I'll be having a bachelor's degree in computer science with a minor in cybersecurity. Last but not least, I am an entrepreneur. I own a fitness brand called Justine's Fitness, and this brand is my personal brand. This is really to instill confidence in others, mainly women. I mean, I am getting a little more unisex and touching base for our beautiful men here. And happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank
mhm.
you. Yep, yep. We're coming to an end
Shout
of
out to
that,
the
but it's
men.
still,
Shout out.
yes, we need them. Men need women need men.
For
T.
sure.
So I really do think that my brand advocates to not just mental health awareness, but body awareness, spirit
Mm,
awareness,
mm,
soul
mm,
awareness. I mean, you're
mm,
not just getting in the gym to work out and for looks. You're not.
mm,
It's not just for looks. It's for the insides too.
mhm.
That's a little bit about me and what I do.
There it is, man. There it is. So we're gonna do a little something a little different tonight. I know I wanted you to give me before we go in. We finna drop some heavy game. To get your
Yeah.
mind right, your physical right, just your energy right, man. But did you get a chance? I know we just coming off the weekend, a crazy weekend. Did
Hmm.
you get a chance to kind of get some headlines and anything you want to touch on before we dive into it? Just to warm it up a
Yes.
little bit.
I did. I did. I did. I did. So I really want to talk about, and this is going to go into our other segues, mental health advocacy. And Taja P, she is killing it right now when it comes to mental health advocacy and really publicly speaking about mental health challenges, especially as a Black woman, in the Hollywood industry, in the industry in general, when it comes to entertainment, modeling, acting, um, supporting mental health. It's really important. You will lose yourself if
For
you don't
real.
have ties in the mental health system there. Another thing I'd like to touch a little base on here is really that self-care is a necessity. It's not a luxury. To take care of yourself is necessary. It is not a luxury. We have got to stop thinking of self-care as only on my off days or only when I have time or uh, no. Taking care of self is priority, just
For
like
real.
feeding the dog, just like feeding your children, just like waking up to that alarm clock to go to your 9 to 5. Self-care is just as important. My
Mhm.
second headline is going to be about politician Cory Bush. Mental health when it comes to maternal, when it comes to doctors, when it comes to more or less us not being represented and taken care of in the healthcare system. I mean, in those environments, we really have to address medical racism and
Mm,
more or less, I would say, pregnancy related disparities.
mm,
Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy rather than a white woman, and that can lead to a lot of turmoil and
mm.
or hard decisions up to even wanting to get pregnant. Last but
Okay.
not least, it's Summer Walker. I have got to talk about Summer Walker's new blend of music. I mean, it's really touching base on a softness and spirituality. And that literally leads into me and who I am. So I'd love to talk about, her spiritual healing and softness and how that's a strength.
Go in on Summer. We do a little music over here. I think I saw
Okay,
something.
yes.
What was it called? Soft girl era or something like that.
Yes. So I've been a follower of Summer for so long, and I've seen the pain through her music. I've sat with her through that pain and sung the songs, felt the beats, watched the videos over and over and over. So to see her come from such um a hurt and I would say almost light but darker place and turning that into motivation, into music, into healing, into power, into wisdom, into femininity. Oh, I love it. Everyone's gonna have something to say about a celebrity. I'm not even blown up, and I can imagine the things that are said about me or rumored about me. So, with that being said, I'm not here to talk about the discrediting of Summer Walker. I'm not here to talk about the rumors or the negativities of her. I'm here to uplift. I'm here to talk about the positive things that I see that I've been a part of in her journey. And holy moly, her soft girl era, it hit me like a ton of feathers, not a ton of bricks.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay. Okay. Has she dropped any music behind it, or is it just kind of headlines promo right now?
So she's dropped a couple different things, but it's just been EPs. It has been like a single here and there. And I want to remember one of the titles of the songs. However, I will say it switched from songs of needingness, almost a needingness of compassion, a needingness of physical touch, of love from masculine beings
Mm,
to no, I am the prize. I
mm,
know my worth.
come on.
And if you want to be a part of this, hello, hello, if you want to be a part of this, you're going to see my worth as well. Okay? Yeah. And you're going to oh, boom, and you're going to spend it. And I'm going to
Mm,
use that term so lightly because in this day and age we know the whole 50-50 thing. We all know the gold digger thing and blah blah blah. We can go on and on and on and on with that. But spend it on me. Spend it. The mental work for me. I'm not talking about spend it. If you have the money, sure, cool, great. We love gifts. All women love to be spoiled, especially if you are a high class woman and you provide yourself that environment. But I mean, spend it. Can you spend time with me? Can you spend your emotional like checkups with me? Can you
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
down with
Emotional
yourself?
currency. What is it?
Yes, like what is that? Like I feel like we're missing a lot of that in these day-to-day relationships. We're missing that true depth of emotional connection, and I feel like her music is really speaking to that. Um, I'm the prize. Work for me, chase me, spend it on me. I'm the woman. I'm going to heave and give everything that you need that's necessary for you to build this empire. How are you going to make this environment comfortable for me?
Mm, love it, love it. Shout out Summer Walker, baby. Oh man, love it, love it. Now
Shout out
I know a
Summer
lot is
Walker.
going on. I know you mentioned the Senator Cory Book, and I want you to go in on your. I think it was your second headline. But I want
Yeah,
to ask
Corey
you.
Bush.
Yeah, about the I know Trump was dropping bombs on Iran, right? And
Unfortunate.
I know we know a lot of world wars are really theater. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? What's real, what's fake? Do
Right.
you believe that this is kind of a theater thing, or is it real beef? And then kind of go into your second headline, man.
Okay. I'm a realist. I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm also someone who thought about even going into politics.
Mm,
So realistically, yes, this is the real world we are living in right now. You've got to be aware. You've got to know what news is worthy of taking in and what news is not. You've got to know the facts beyond the false. You've got to also recognize who is willing, I would say who is proper to follow, more or less, to listen to gain knowledge from versus not. I mean, this is going to be really important these days. And to top it off, I think it's very important and serious to me because I have family in the military. I have
mm.
someone overseas jumping out of airplanes, literally younger than myself, risking their life. Shout out to my little sister doing her big one. So yes, it's very real. It's very real. When you have family members overseas fighting this fight and you have to stay up overnight, just refreshing locations. I mean, I've even looked at jobs overseas to do
That's
news
deep.
reporting. Very, 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 very. It's scary knowing a young black woman is out there doing doing the jobs that men
And
wouldn't
look,
even imagine.
and not to stop you, but it's a lot of sisters. I've been seeing a lot of sisters that's enlisting now, man.
I know it. I know it. And I love to see that. We need more representation in every single title, in every single group or job that exists. We need more representation. So that leads me into that second segue there, um, of more or less Cori Bush and Black maternal health. So, for those who don't know a little bit about Cori Bush, she is the first Black woman to represent the Missouri Congresswoman. So, she represents the Missouri Congress. And she really did introduce Black Women's Maternal Health Act, which more or less related back to her personal story because she dealt with, I believe, what it was a horrible story of negligence in a hospital as she was giving birth, as she was dealing with that childbirth system. So she decided to take that upon herself and make regulations and laws and push them through to really advocate for Black women. And I think that that is amazing because if we don't do it, who does? Like we're one of the most, I feel like one of the most wanted woman, like the real put together Black woman, but we're also the most unprotected. It's crazy to me. So I really feel like her work and her the system she's been implementing to protect Black women is going to be severely important for the future. And it's going to lead into a lot of job opportunities and I would say support systems for Black women like myself who have felt unheard, unseen, unmedically attended to, having to repeat ourselves multiple times, having to make different appointments with different doctors when we could have had the situation taken care of there, but you just didn't want to listen to me. Now I'm having to look at holistic things and blah 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 blah. So it's a whirlwind out here, I'd say, for us Black women, for the political scene in general right now, and to add Black women into that is an entire topic within itself. We have to not only advocate to the pressure from society, but also advocate from our fellow employees, our own sisters. Like it's a very competitive and or hard to find support system type of world when it comes to political views, when it comes to, I would say, politics in general, honestly. So times are hard, but I do have to say to wrap that up and really bring it back home. Yes, I do think that a lot of the stuff we're seeing when it comes to war, it's true. It's sad. It hurts. And the fact that we can literally go on social media and watch children being drug under rubble breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to know that we are satisfied eating, drinking, and relaxing. Um, 9 times out of 10, most of us and across the world are people not knowing anything, not even knowing if they're going to make it to the next day.
Man, we live with Miss Mia Justine, baby, dropping it.
Hello.
Before we really pivot, do you think war will ever come to the streets of America?
Mm,
Like, I
mm,
mean, like
I
the
love
war
this
that we
question.
see,
Right,
on the news every night, you
right,
know?
right. Real simple answer. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely
Wow.
not. And I'm not going to go too deep into my
Nah, you gotta drop a little bit of it. You gotta heat up the tea a little
Okay,
bit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that oof, this might get me canceled. Nah, I'm not worried about that.
It's gonna
Everyone
get the
has their
views. Come
opinions,
on with it.
right? Everyone has their opinions. I'm not gonna lie. The current president will not allow that to happen, and I'll make that. I'll That's the one line right there that I'll say. Our military is very powerful. Our systems are also very powerful, and the things that he has the ability to implicate are also very powerful. I don't think that our land is going to be bum rushed. I don't think our civilians are going to have to worry about um, buildings being collapsed on them, not having homes anymore, neighborhoods being blown to smithereens, states no longer existing on Apple Maps, Google Maps. I don't think that's going to happen in the U.S. It's not. Our soil is going to be good. I will say when it comes to smaller home front bombings, terrorist threats, things of that nature that we've already seen take place and more or less maybe even take a progression throughout the times. I think that's very likely, very possible, and it's going to continue to happen. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it quite often throughout the decades. Marathons, being bombed. I mean, schools, concerts, public events. Political buildings, even just neighborhoods in general. So, if we just take away our own crime that we have here in America, I do think that there is going to be some additives to terrorism in some way. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I love it. I love it. To pivot off of something you said about, you know, the black women in the medical field being, I guess, underrepresented, not heard. And then so a lot of them eventually will pivot out of, you know, the normal or traditional health systems, and they'll go into more holistic um, practices, so to speak.
Yeah.
So um, to go
Hmm.
into the more holistic aspect of health, I want to talk about prioritizing your peace. You know what I'm saying? Is this something
Yes.
that people can get in touch with you at uh, Justine Fitness? You know, can you help with prioritizing peace? Like, really want you to take your time and just break down what does it mean to prioritize your peace? Like you said, not just on
Yes. Okay.
your off day. You know what I'm saying? Do it every day.
Yeah.
So really take your
Yeah.
time and go in, walk us through prioritizing peace.
Okay. Be mindful of your access. Um, Everyone shouldn't have access to you just because they used to. Okay. Say no without guilt. Say yes without over explaining. Peace is a boundary, not a luxury. I truly feel as if we get lost too much in the day to day chaos where we start to somewhat lose ourselves within. within finding that peace, within wanting to even find that peace. Sometimes you don't even know where to start. I will give my socials at the end of this for sure. So I really think that peace, inner peace, self peace, does have to do with your environment. It does have to do with the people you keep around you, the environments you put yourself in day to day, what your home looks like, what your home feels like, who is in your home. Presence matters when it comes to peace. And sometimes, and I just did a little video on this on my TikTok, I believe, and Instagram, you have got to re isolate to reground. You have got to. You've got to find solitude, honey. You've got to go
Even
back to
even
that.
and don't you lose not one word of
I'm
what you
not.
about to say, but even if it means I gotta leave my family, my wife, my girl, my husband,
Mm,
Justine, talk to me.
mm, yes. Blood ain't thicker than water. Okay. Sometimes your family is going to be the one blocking the blessings. They say get out of your own way. Well, sometimes it's the family in your way, the people that you keep making excuses for because they have certain titles in your life. A title does not, it does not instill peace of mind. A title does not, it doesn't give true loyalty and true love. A title is a 5 letter word, if not more. Hello, we all have titles, but what do they do within that title? What is their description? What is their job description? And do they really play the role, or are they a distraction? Are they a liability? Hello.
Don't you start preaching, man.
Ooh, or an asset. Come on now, because we got a lot of walking liabilities out here, and they don't even want to realize it. But they want to preach loyalty, love, and peace. Baby, you are the distraction, the succubus, and and so forth. Hello. You ain't no darn peace, child. You don't know nothing about peace. Don't know nothing about no peace. So I really do. I believe in stop re-inviting chaos in and calling it love. Come on now. We got to stop re-inviting chaos in and dealing with chaos and more or less moving in chaos and thinking that's going to get you to the next step of peace, luxury, wisdom, divinity, godly like and stillness. It's not. It's not. If you know it's wrong, it's wrong. If it disturbs your system, if it makes you anxious, baby, them not butterflies. You, you nervous. Them not butterflies. They are disrupting your whole nervous system, and you are getting an inkling why. Your spirit team is telling you this is off, and you need to recognize. You need to use your discernment, or I'm not going to bless you. This is important. This is really important. A personal story, not too far, but there was a time when someone I love deeply did not see me, refused to defend me. When my peace, my property, even my well being, my worth were being disrespected, I had to realize in that moment love did not exist in this space. Okay. There's not love with no accountability. Love with no accountability is just chaos in disguise, honey. Come on now. Like you're trying to paint over exactly what they're showing you, you need to be going the other direction from. Don't paint over it. When they show you the first time who they are, please believe it. Please believe it because it's going to cost you in the end. It's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you more than your peace of mind dealing with chaos, living in
It's
chaos, breathing
expensive.
in chaos. Okay? Okay. For real though, I had to protect my peace by cutting off the tie, by literally cutting the tie, by cutting people off that stopped caring about my well-being. And it's not because I stopped caring, but you can truly tell when someone says I love you and it's truly lust. Hello. You can tell when it's lust.
Go in, go in. It's so much, but go in. I
It
don't want you
is,
to
it
lose
is, it
no
is, it
points. I
is.
don't
I
want you to lose no
swear.
points. Go ahead.
But for real though, I finally started to care about myself. I started to deeply care about myself. Protecting your peace is just like protecting your home. You don't let strangers walk into your home. That applies to your energy as well. Don't let strangers come on in and step all over your soul, your heart, your mind. If you have to re-isolate over and over again, start to question why. Start to question who's in your environment to make you have to re-isolate, because isolation is a self option. You don't have to re-isolate to reground all the way. But sometimes we have to when we've allowed disruptions in our way, in our path. When we've allowed more or less chaos to become a part of our routine. Yeah, you have to re-isolate because you done lost part of yourself trying to be a part of something you had no business. Come on now. Trying to be in rooms, they don't even recognize your worth because you're not supposed to be there, honey. They looking at you crazy. They're telling you you overdressed because you're not supposed to be there. You're not even supposed to be there. Seriously though, detox doesn't just mean food. It just doesn't mean detox, a detox drink, this and that. No, detox that energy. Detox that and detox that from your life. Okay, men too. Detox that from your life. That woman, that man. You know what words I'm using behind this. Detox them. Get them out of there. If you know it ain't right, feel it. Don't just know it. Act on it.
And hold that point because I want you to go back. But and I'm sure this is something that you sell, at Justine Fitness. How and don't give them a lot because I want y'all to go to the website and get a special consultation, session.
Oh.
How can one cut the cut the tie? How can they do it just a little bit?
Mm. So it starts with self conversation. This is going to be the hardest part though, because I come in after this. I come in after you've sat with yourself, after you've done what's called the shadow work. Asking yourself why I am the way I am. Why do I have the values and morals that I have? Why do I move the way I do? What makes people attracted to me? Is it dark? Is it light? Is it a mixture? Why have I encountered the negative things I have? Was it by coincidence? Did I put myself in that path? Is it avoidable? You know, it really starts with self evaluation, self discernment, self conversation, self acknowledgement. It starts within, it starts with self. Once you're able to analyze self on a deeper level rather than just, I don't even know if people really do this these days, checking in on themselves on a daily. How am I feeling today? Am I sad, depressed? Some people don't even go that far, but you need to go further than that, even. You need to go further than examining your current emotional state of mind. Okay, you need to reach beyond, reach deeper, reach into your motives, your motivations, your hobbies, your habits, your day-to-day life. Analyze the last 3 years, the what, when, why, where's, who's, and you'll start getting answers you didn't have previously. Then comes wanting to apply it. After you sit with yourself for a bit, after you ask yourself these hard questions, meditation, journaling, hello, self discovering of self, that's when you can apply those things after you've gathered the information. Now it's time to apply. Now, do I need help applying this? This is, again, self analyzation. Do I need guidance applying some of these lifestyle habits? That's when you start looking for people like myself. That's when you start engaging with someone like me and signing up for one on one consultations to get, and it's a fitness one on one consultation. But to even get that far, you got to be right up here to get right down here. Hello. You can't have an hourglass body and not an hourglass mind. They don't balance. You'll be seen. I promise. If you just have a good body and a horrible personality, you will be seen and not for what you want. Not for what you want. This goes to men and women. You've got to do more than just the outside because we all know you can have a beautiful outside and a really ugly inside.
Hey, if y'all want cutting the ties, special consultation, hit up Miss Justine. We're gonna drop the website,
Yeah.
everything at the end. We ain't gonna
Yes,
give them too much of
absolutely.
that because that's they gotta pay for that.
Yeah, you
But
definitely got to hop in with me for
yeah,
all the
you
rest
gotta
of the
you gotta get in
details.
with your girl on that one.
Absolutely.
But prioritizing peace, man. I wanna get back on that horse.
Yeah.
You know, finish what you were on, man. Go ahead.
So I really will say that, man, knowing your value goes into protecting your peace. Know your worth so others can't sell you short. If you don't see the value in yourself, people definitely are going to price you at clearance, more or less. Okay. You have to have the highest tag on yourself and then add some tax. Hello, people are going to try to tell you what your value is. Talk to yourself and then add a little bit on top of it because you're going to be hard on yourself. I promise. Confidence doesn't mean ego. It means clarity. It means clarity. It means clarity. Being confident in yourself. Ego is something we really, honestly, don't want too much of in the first place. We want confidence and clarity. Ego, more or less, is I feel like a negative stance on too much confidence, on an imbalance of confidence. Okay, you've got to learn that having confidence within yourself means that you're clear about a lot of things about yourself. You've sat with yourself, you've talked to yourself, you had the hard conversations to build that confidence, that mental confidence, that soul confidence that I walk into a room, the energy changes. I walk into a room and you sit up. You sit up straight and you say, "Good morning, good afternoon." You speak. Yes, absolutely. You know, so I really do feel like knowing your worth is going to be one of the most things that defends the peace of mind, that defends that getting peace on every level. Okay, now we've got to stop entertaining what does not honor our essence. This does go into don't let strangers, you're not going to let strangers into your home, don't let strangers into your soul. Protect that energy. Come on now, protect that sacral space. But we do have to stop entertaining people that we know don't even deserve entertainment in the first place. And I know a lot of women, but men do it too. We all do it. We all do it. We might like the way something looks, but we know darn well we have no business interacting with that type of human at all. Okay. When you know your value, you stop chasing validation. So when you've had those deep conversations with yourself, and mind you, I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. So yes, I've had to reevaluate myself recently and have these conversations with myself. I'm a human. This is realistic. This is life. I'm in my 20s. You're going to do this a lot in your 20s, over and over and over again. And I recommend doing it as many times as you have to get it right. Okay. But when you truly know your value, you will be okay with being alone for a bit. Not lonely, not lonely, but being alone for a bit, waiting for that queen, waiting for that wife, waiting for that husband, that king. Okay. Now I feel like a lot of young men and young women, some men, we want a wife, but we're not ready to be a husband. We want a husband, we're not ready to be a wife. No, once you start knowing your value, all that changes. You stop chasing people who want to be in a marriage or a relationship but don't want to be a good partner really. You know your value, so you start chasing, not even chasing, you start meeting people of the same value because high valued women don't typically chase men. Typically. I can get it wrong sometimes. I'm a flawed human, okay? I understand. But me personally, I guess I should correct myself. Personally, me and Justine ain't gonna be chasing nobody. It's just not happening. Only thing I'm chasing is the Lord, okay? And this money.
Okay.
Amen. Okay. You attract what reflects you, not what drains you. Okay. So we don't want to keep bringing in the same rotten energy that disrupted us last week. Okay, we jotted it down. We know it's destructive behavior. We know it's not ungodly. We know it's ungodly. We know it doesn't match our physique, our mental, our day-to-day movements. So we have got to revert back to what we really want to attract. And now that's a reflection of your character now, though. Truly. You attract what you think your value is, what you put out there. The energy you put out is exactly what you attract. Okay. Now, your value, though, it doesn't require proof. It doesn't. I'm not going to walk into a room and explain my high priestess energy. No, you're going to feel me. You're going to feel me. You might smell me.
Say it again, man.
Okay. Like, I I don't have an ID card or a tag stating who I am and what I do. has people asking me who I am and what I do. I don't require proof. When you know your value, it doesn't require any proof. Just like a diamond does not lose value because it's buried, you don't lose your value when you're overlooked. And you're going to be overlooked plenty times. I'm talking to my black men and my black women specifically. Yes, my black men and my black women. You are going to be overlooked many times in life, rather that even be by your own family.
Hey man, say man.
Uh, do you hear me, baby? You're going to be overlooked by many people in the work field, education, day to day life, friendships, situationships, marriages, relationships. You're going to be overlooked. But just because you are overlooked does not mean you're not valuable. On a day to day basis, I'm overlooked, and guess what? That just means maybe this isn't the space I need to be in, or maybe it is, and they just don't want to see me just yet. But they're gonna feel me soon. Hello. Rejection to me does not mean stop. No, it means go. It means go harder. Rejection to me means redirection. Simple as that. Rejection to me is steering me into the other direction. Truly, value isn't about being seen. It's about being solid. It's about being solid. Stand on who you are. Stand on your beliefs. Don't just stand on it. Move in it. Live in it. Pray in it. Eat and sleep in it. Come on now. Be exactly who you are. I'm exactly who I say and know I am. Be who you are and live it. Live through that though. And please try to add goodness to it because I'm not saying live through it and you are just a trash bag. No. If you are a trash bag and you have horrible narcissistic trashy ways, women, men, fix it. Analyze it, fix it, and get to know the Lord. Amen.
Hey man, we live with Miss Mia Justine, baby. It's really going down. It's really going down.
Hello.
So much. We'll end the prioritizing peace right there, man.
I love it.
If you want
I love it.
more, we gonna drop the DMs later. Website, y'all get in the DMs. Holler at this girl, man. She got it laid out.
Yes.
Get you a private consultation. But I want to move on to protecting your peace. You know what I'm saying? Once you've done all
Hmm.
this work, all this shadow good work, how do we protect it, man?
Man, that comes from man, routine consistency. We're gonna start with the word consistency. Man. So
Y'all take notes, man.
seriously though, so I will say being consistent is going to it's going to change your whole life. Now, first we have to audit the access list. Who has access to you? This is a good question. And another question is when you go through the list of who is in your life, one of the questions I want to ask is does this connection add softness or stress? Men too, though. Don't think men just deserve brick hard lives and, like,
Oh
no,
no,
some,
cause
like,
cause
no.
the wars we fight every day, man. You want to come home and just
Come
you,
on
you
now, to
feel me?
peace, to softness. Yes, to stability, to femininity. Absolutely. So, with that being said, everybody can't sit at your table just because they've known you long. Everyone cannot sit at your table just because they've known you long. Comfort doesn't equal compatibility. Just because they've been there for so long doesn't mean you guys are compatible. Okay, that can go for family, entrepreneurship, business relationships as well. Just because you started something with that person doesn't mean you're not going to outgrow that person. Doesn't mean they're not going to remain stagnant, and you might be moving forward with a little more speed than them. So I think one of the first steps to protecting your peace and reevaluating the protection of peace is going to be auditing the access list, like an audit. Go through that. Even I'm gonna give you a real clear example of self that I have done over and over and over. Consistency in this. I go through my following so often. And if I feel like you have disrupted me, unsupported me, distracted me, hurt me, harmed me, been negative Nancy to me, just been or just, a leech, a energy vampire, someone who's just watching, hovering over me. Oh, I will unfollow you so quick and you might end up on the block list. This is my life, this is my phone, and you're not going to disrupt this process. I run the program. not you. Okay. So I audit my access list very often. I mean, very often. Um, Not even just social media, but in my day-to-day life. I'm asking myself, do these connections really value me? Do they bring to me exactly what I'm actually looking for when it comes to some kind of relationship? Even when it comes to business life, I analyze that all the time. Even with my family. I'm not gonna lie to you, baby. Just because you family don't mean you can't get the boot. I'm not taking mistreatment from anybody. Okay. Another thing I would say is guard your. Oh my God, I love this one. Guard your mornings like a ritual. Day to day life routine likeness is going to be having some kind of routine in the morning. Start your day grounded, guard it. Don't wake up and let the world pour into you before you pour into yourself. No texts, no socials. Come on.
That's so
We
key,
really
man.
drop in gems. Yeah, like seriously though. These are things that people don't really talk about, honestly. Um, Literally and really, when you first wake up in the morning, there's no need to hop on an electronic device. Yeah, the alarm went off. Press snooze or turn it off, really turn it off and get your butt up. Turn the phone over. 30 minutes, 45 minutes. If you have the luxury of life, an hour. I do an hour. I have no kids. I'm single. I wake up in the morning, I flip my phone over and I start turning on my lights. I turn on some calm music. I drink some tea. I'm stretching. I'm praying. I always open my eyes and pray immediately before I even touch the alarm. Okay. Come on now. We want to start our morning with peace, no chaos. No social media, no chaos. Start with intention. Start with intention. Protect the first hour. Protect your first hour. That's your temple of peace. That's your peace temple. That first hour in the morning. That's going to be really important for you. I promise. Once you start consistently having some kind of morning routine, ritual is what I like to call it. um, you'll start seeing habits in yourself change. I feel like routine is habit and habit is routine. Number 3, I would say definitely create sacred exits. Oh my goodness. I don't think we talk about this often enough because in our American culture, we are to get, to gain, to take, to bring in. We are never taught how to release, how to let go, how to exit properly. It's even in our magazines, our social media, our textbooks, our day-to-day social media scrolling. How to get, how to gain, how to sign up for this, sign up for that, buy this subscription, do this, add this to your routine, drink this supplement. Good God. What about releasing? What about just being still? What about having what you have in this moment and being grateful for what is around you? Do we really need to take in so much and get? Or do we really need to learn how to most healthily release and let go? So I feel like finding a sacred exit is also a very good way to protect your peace. We don't want messy exits. We don't want arguments, fights. I mean, we just don't want it. We don't want drama. Most of us don't. Most of us want peace in general. So not every goodbye needs to be a performance. Sometimes leaving quietly, so loud. So loud, okay? Sometimes no response is the one-liner response. Yeah. Sometimes taking that access back is the exit. That's closing that door. It's done. What's been said has been said. What's been felt has been felt. And now it's time to reevaluate, reground, create sacred exits, okay? Audit the access list. All right. Come on now, make that morning ritual, guard your mornings. All right. These are things that are going to aid to protecting that peace. Choose rest over reaction. Choose rest over reaction. We as Black people do not know how to sit our butts down. We literally are just motion, 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 motion. And especially when it comes to us being triggered, I'd say. We tend to get triggered, and more or less, most of us unfortunately from stems from trauma and other things. I'm sure we can go into that at a later time, but we tend to react. We tend to react instead of just, "Hmm, okay, I'm gonna rest it out. I'm gonna rest." Every trigger doesn't need a response. Sometimes the real flex is resting instead of wrestling, instead of responding. You know, when something doesn't go your way, when something is disrupting you, sometimes you just need to take a step back and breathe, rest. Do not overreact. This is what's called emotional stability, emotional regulating, emotional awareness, especially. Choose rest over reaction. My mantra for this is, if it disrupts my nervous system, you heard me say it earlier, if it disrupts my nervous system, it's too expensive. It's too expensive for me. Too expensive. I can't have it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay. So, all those things, including making peace a non negotiable, not a reward, speaking less, discerning more. So, making peace a non negotiable, not a reward. Stop treating peace like it's a weekend getaway, like it's a vacay getting out the group chat finally. It's not. It's something that is a non negotiable. Peace of mind, peace of home, peace of environment, peace of soul, body, mind, soul is non negotiable. You need it to survive. A lot of us are in survival mode right now, including myself. Including myself. My peace is non negotiable during this. If I have If I don't have my peace, I almost have nothing. If I don't have the Lord, I know I have nothing. He gives me peace. It all correlates. It really, really does.
Live with Miss Mia Justine, man. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man.
Yes, yes,
Go in, man. I
absolutely.
didn't want to interrupt you though. Go in.
We've been going in. I'm not gonna lie to you. My
I
last
feel like, man,
Yeah.
I'm cheating you, man. I feel like people need to be paying for this, man.
So it's funny that you're saying that. I told myself, and I've done like my own little research and stuff like that. I'm getting into podcasting, and this is going to be my practice scene and stuff like that. So people are going to get some really good gems when I do drop my podcast and stuff like
Nah,
that.
for real, for real,
Um,
for real.
I'm really excited for that. I am. So this is definitely my opener, my practicing, and just getting myself confident. Being live like this, talking like this. It's not typical for me. I'm not this vulnerable. I'm a little more mysterious than this. So, but I do have these gems and wisdom that my ancestors and the Lord and the universe have been telling me, this is
Okay.
your job.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yes, yes,
Beautiful,
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
So we'll end the um protecting piece right there. I feel like I don't want to give them too much, man.
Yeah.
But let's keep it moving, man. What are some of the repercussions of not
Mm.
knowing your value?
Now this is a big one. I do feel like you will reap the repercussions of not knowing your value. This is important, not just for Black women, for Black men, but for really everyone. This one is 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 hard. I'm not gonna lie. You'll accept what was never meant for you, and that's hard to even believe and know. But a lot of times in our beautiful lives here, we will experience sometimes things that are not for us, not just surface level, but soul level. Because I do feel like when women forgets her worth, the world will capitalize on her silence. Truly, honestly. So when it comes to accepting things that were never meant for you, this is going to come in the form of jobs, lovers, friendships, vibes you just kind of like stayed for because it was there, not because it's right, not because it was for you, not because it was God sent to you. Sometimes we do accept things that are not meant for us, but the repercussion of that is now you are loyal to dysfunction, not love. Once you start accepting things that are truly not meant for you, you are starting to really creep into the creps of being loyal to dysfunction, to distraction, to
Man, that's
uh
heavy.
come on. I said that. I told you. I said this is a big one. This is heavy because it's not something that a lot of people want to sit down with themselves and talk about. The repercussions of accepting what's not for you. We've been there. We've all been there. It's just there. Okay. I've had to reground, and I'm in a moment of solitude right now. No one can get
I
through.
was gonna say that mean I got to leave some people, Miss Mia. Like, come
Yes.
on.
Yes, I know it, and it's scary, and it's hard, and it is like treacherous, especially if you lean on those people for any kind of financial support. Now that is going to be very hard. Now, if you have it all said and done for yourself, and more or less, you're looking at having to cut people out of your life for the sake of your peace of mind. You're not having to lean on them. It's going to be a little bit of an easier process, but your emotional is still going to go through turmoil because that disconnect is something that you're not used to. You're used to being connected and loyal to dysfunction. So you having to realign and kind of rewire that, it's going to be a hard conversation with yourself. Yeah, very much so. The repercussions of not knowing your value, you'll become addicted, and I mean addicted to validation instead of rooted in truth. You will become addicted to validation instead of rooted in truth. And what I mean by that is you will start more or less looking for people to validate who you are, what you do, how you feel even. You'll become addicted like scrolling on social media. If you truly don't protect your peace, if you truly don't know your value, instead of being rooted in the truth of this is who I am because I know who I am. I don't have to ask anybody else to reassure me. I don't need a two-step verification, as we say in computer science. My picks. Oh my God, I'm so nerdy.
Come on, man.
Oh my God. You don't need a two-step verification process to engage with yourself and know that you are validated because you are rooted in truth. You're addicted to truth of self, not addicted to validation from others who are also in dysfunction. Come on now. Without self-worth, attention feels like love in silence. In a way, it'll feel like a abandonment almost. Without self-worth, attention feels like love in silence, like abandonment. Even when it's protection though. I truly do feel like when you are knowing of self-worth, when you know your value, you'll even start protecting your voice. You'll even start protecting the way you give love, how you show love. You know, they say the good women are hiding in a way. We are. We are. Because I don't want to give my love away anymore to the wrong person. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm hiding. I'm in solitude. Yeah. So you are going to have to cut some people off for sure. You'll chase the applause in rooms that mute your soul. Those aren't your people. That's not your tribe. When you come to them with some bad news and you get more of a reaction than you did when you came to them last week with a business idea, pay attention to those people because those are the same people that when you do drop that entrepreneurship, that business, that hobby, when you do try to monetize it, they're gonna be the ones watching you from the corner. You're gonna have to remind the group chat to just like your stuff. Okay? But when you got some tea, oh, all ears. They even want to pull up. You feel me? But it's not like that when it comes to your business. It's not like that when it comes to your mental health. Those aren't your people for real. We have to reanalyze that. We have to stop confusing that for sure. Another repercussion and or consequence of not knowing your true value of self is you'll confuse struggle with purpose. And this has been something that I have battled for years because of other circumstances, because of not having that financial stability and foundation in family, because of having to be hyper independent men and women of the African American culture. We have got to know that your value makes you feel like you have to suffer to be worthy of something real. You don't. You absolutely do not. Do not confuse struggle with purpose. When you are struggling, that is a time when you need to be reaching out to the support systems, when you need to be recalibrating yourself more or less and refinding your grounding in your peace because you're fighting to survive. That's not a time that's not a time when you're feeling like, okay, this is it. This is my final stage. This is the tally all. It's not. You're in survival mode, honey. Recognize that. Be able to recognize survival mode versus you being living in your full purpose because they look completely different, I promise. I really promise that. The repercussion of that, however, you will call pain perception when it's really just poor boundaries. It's really poor boundaries. We have to understand the role we play in our own suffering, honestly, truly, really. Okay. And that comes with self-realization and self-value. Knowing self comes with being able to recognize when you have allowed someone to get through because of your poor boundaries. When your system has gotten hacked because you didn't have the right code in the background running. My tech people. You literally have got to make sure that you have boundaries, strong boundaries, real boundaries, not in between the line boundaries, not ones that make hardly any sense boundaries. No, you need to be able to explain it through and through why, when, where, who type boundaries. Okay? Seriously though. You want to get out of that survival mode to where you're making the connections of struggle with purpose and love with lust and or I need to be suffering and able to figure out my purpose. You don't. You need to be resting. You do. You need to be recalibrating your energy. Okay? Another one, you'll ignore red flags. I think we've all been there in a way. A repercussion of not knowing your value is you'll ignore red flags and you'll call them potential. Men, women, men, we will literally see someone we like, know they don't have the qualities we're looking for, okay, but still go down that journey and say, maybe they'll come up with the rest of the qualities I'm looking for down the road. No, they won't. No, they won't because you're ignoring red flags and you're calling it potential at this point. You know, you know morally, you two are not compatible. Look wise, sure, we've got to stop putting potential over reality, over red flags. Yeah. When you don't feel valuable, you'll overlook, excuse me, you'll overlove and underreceive. So when you don't have your value and put a little bow on it, you'll just be handing stuff to people. Here you go. Here you go. Here's my heart. Here's my money. Here's my soul. Here's my mental. And you'll under receive. Yes, yes,
Come
you'll
on.
under receive. You will. You will truly under receive if you are over loving. When you ignore red flags and you call it potential, that's when you start giving parts of yourself that you needed more than anybody else in that moment, in that time. You'll carry others emotionally, financially, spiritually, while being emotionally starved yourself. So while you're in a space of lack, you're still giving. While you're in a space of not knowing value, you're over loving. These are things we've got to reevaluate to get self back on foundation here, to get you back on a path to where you feel emotionally regulated, right? And the repercussion of that is you'll lose months. I hope it's only months, weeks, months, but you'll really lose years trying to heal people who weren't meant to be around you, who were meant to really teach you release. You will waste valuable, youthful years trying to put someone on a healing path that they are not bred for or ready for. You can only lead a horse to what? To water. Come on now. You can only lead a horse to water. You've got to stop betraying yourself. You really do. And this is a repercussion. You'll betray yourself quietly and you'll call it compromise. You will sit there and more or less in turmoil and settle and take what you know you have no business taking. And you'll call it compromise. Oh, I'm compromising. I, I'm I'm sticking beside them. I'm not a leaver. I'm not just gonna leave somebody. Look what they're going through. Stop compromising with yourself. Stop it. You are betraying yourself quietly. The most dangerous betrayal is very loud. It's the daily betrayal. It's the daily betrayal of picking a struggle, picking something you know you have no business instead of picking peace, picking what's comfortable to you instead of choosing the route that's a little discomforting in the beginning, but more fruitful in the end. You will succumb to that. It's the consistent ignoring of your gut, of your emotions, of your feelings, your needs, your truth. It's the complete and utter consistent ignoring. If you can be consistent in ignoring, oh, honey, I promise you have the same strength to be consistent in healing. I know you do. The repercussion is you'll abandon yourself. You will abandon yourself and then wonder why you feel so empty. Wonder why you feel empty next to people who claim to love you. And that hurts. That's a really heavy realization. Realize the love wasn't love this entire time, but it was a distraction. That's hard. The real game there, baby. If you don't know your worth and you keep mistaking presence for loyalty, you'll keep mistaking a simple presence for love and loyalty. You will keep making that same mistake. Consistency for love and attention for commitment. One more time. If you don't know your worth, you'll keep mistaking presence for loyalty, consistency for love, and attention for commitment. And those are some of the repercussions.
There it is. Live with Miss Mia Justine, baby.
Yes,
Justine Fitness. I
live.
love it, man. I love it. Um,
Yeah, this has
yeah,
been
man.
good.
Just go ahead. I'm sorry.
This has been really amazing. We dropping some gems on these people's heads, and I really
Nah,
hope they
for
take the
real.
time to take it in.
Like for real. Play it back, rewind it, play it back. Take notes, man. Look at my note sheet. Like it's
Oh, I
real.
love
You feel
that.
me? Never stop learning, never stop growing, man. Um,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yes,
one
yes.
thing I've seen, to kind of pivot off of it, um, in dealing with this with myself early on, I've gotten a little better, but
Mhm,
I want you to give 5 to 10 points
mhm.
of advice for,
Mm.
attractive people. You know what I'm saying? Successful people, and talented people. Because I
Yeah,
find that a lot of people who are attractive, who are successful, who are talented, those be the people with the biggest hearts. They
yeah.
the real niggas. They the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? They the
I'm telling you.
givers. They got the biggest hearts. And they get stepped on the most. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
these are the people who, although he may be the best this in the world, or she's the best that in the world, she don't got enough game to just, maneuver through this person who's just standing right next to her. You know what I'm saying? Her own neighborhood. You feel me? So give
Yep, yep.
5 to 10 pieces of advice, man, for, just attractive, successful, talented people, to kind of, make their
Absolutely.
journey just a little bit easier.
Absolutely. So, some advice for my attractive, talented, intuitive people. To start, let me say, one moment, we have someone with a horrible engine coming by.
Shout out New Orleans, Louisiana, baby.
Man, New Orleans, Louisiana, they don't know how to act with these cars. I know you hear them. Anyways, child. Okay, so my opening thought to this really, you can be stunning, soulful, and sharp, full of wisdom, and still overlooked by people who lack the capacity to hold you. Simple. But that doesn't mean you're too much. It means they were never ready. They weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Okay? A few pieces of advice here. You do not have to prove your power. You don't. Presence is felt. You don't have to prove it. Presence is felt, not explained. Again, presence is felt, not explained. Stop over explaining your depth to people committed to misunderstanding you. For crying out loud.
Woo!
Yes,
Woo!
they were never going to hear you out in the first place. They were going to not see you, misunderstand you as much as they possibly could, to overlook you, to make you feel like you don't know your value. But you do, honey. You do. My second piece of advice is going to be, do not, I mean, do not dilute your essence to be digestible. You were never meant to be tolerated. You were meant to be celebrated. I stopped dimming down my light a while ago, and I'm still dimming it up now, honey. Okay? I don't care. People are going to have so many opinions about you. No matter what you do, you could literally just sit and breathe and just stare into space. And someone's going to have an opinion about you. You could be trying to make a meal in a year, and someone's going to have an opinion about you. You can start a non for profit for diseases in America. Someone's going to have a about you. So you really need to do what you do. Do what you feel is best for you. And do not dilute your essence to be digestible. I'm not meant to be tolerated. I'm meant to be celebrated. And I've understood that. And I'm taking that in very clearly. Okay. Another one. Protect your creative and emotional energy. Honey, honey, if you don't, you won't have any creativity to give. I'm serious. If you don't protect your craft, you won't have much to give out in general. Being talented doesn't mean being consistently available. It doesn't. Protect your magic from being overexposed. Protect your magic from overexposure. I dealt with that on a personal level, being a model and starting in the modeling industry. We all know that the modeling industry can be intense, especially if you're just getting in. People will definitely try to use and abuse you, more or less overexpose you, bring you opportunities that they know don't align with you, things like that. And it really happens to our really beautiful, beautiful women, especially when they're just trying to get into the modeling industry and stuff like that. I really do think that being talented is a blessing and a curse. It really is. And don't add beautiful on top of it. Have some dignity about yourself, and you are godlike, godly like. You are filled with God's words and wisdom. People will come at you, shark, 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 shark. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna get sharked, all right. What? Seriously though, protect your creative and emotional energy just like you would your soul, just like you would your home, your car. Okay, don't overexpose your magic for anybody. Um, Rest is going to be your weapon. For us creatives, we love to like maintain this super busy, busy look. Like we're always busy, we're always doing something. I'll be honest, it's a front. I have literally, it's not a front, but it is, but it ain't. Because you know I'm getting work done behind the scenes. But baby, just know rest is scheduled in there. I work around me being able to rest. It wasn't always like that though. You know, I was in a survival mode at some point. I wasn't a consistent go, 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 go. But that's how you get burnt out and you don't maintain your creativity. That's how you end up overlooking some of the opportunities because you were too bum rushed trying to get to the next thing. Slow down. Take a deep breath. Take a nap. Get you 8 hours of sleep. Drink some water when you wake up. Stretch. Oh, yeah. In through nostrils, out through mouth. Breathe. Rest. That's your weapon. When you are more rested, when you have more energy, you are more creative. Seriously. I had to take a nap before this podcast just to make sure I had my energy. We pushing 30 over here. I had to
Okay.
get some sleep. All right. Do you hear me? Do not let hustle culture trick you into believing rest makes you lazy. Intuition gets louder when you are rested. You're able to provide more when you're rested, create more when you're rested. Try to go on go mode with no energy. Oh, honey, you're going to be half at your goodness, at your greatness than you would have been if you would have got 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And I promise that rest is going to be very important um, for your lifestyle, especially if you are an attractive, creative, talented, intuitive person. When you are those words, when you are attractive, talented, and intuitive, you're going to need rest. or they're going to drag you through the mud. They're going to try to use all your talents, book you up as much as they possibly can, and make sure you have no rest in you. But your intuition does get louder when you slow down a bit. You know more when you slow down, okay? Style and substance can coexist. You can be fine and focused, okay? You can be soft and still strategic. I promise. You can be posting, you can be active on social media and still very powerful. Very much so. Don't let anyone box you in. Don't let anyone put you in a category that they made for you. No, that's not what we're doing here. You can have multiple parts of yourself and still maintain the wise, divine parts of yourself as well, without getting into more or less, I would say, the darker or negative aspects of humanity. You can do that. It's possible. Style and substance do coexist, and I am a pure example of that. I will say also, being intuitive isn't a curse. It's your compass. My intuition has guided me and also redirected me in a lot of ways. But I had to empty space in my mental to even have that intuition, to even have any level of discernment. I had to reevaluate a lot of things. I had to cut cords. Just because you feel deeply doesn't mean you're too sensitive. Just because you can read people real well doesn't mean you're crazy. I promise. Go ahead, Louisiana. Oh, they outside with it today. It means you're tuned in. When you have the ability to see others deeper on a deeper level, read the room, okay? It means you're tuned in with self, with spirit, with universe, with the Lord. And that is powerful when it comes to being attractive, talented, wise, and intuitive, truly and honestly. You don't need to be accessible to be valuable. Cut off access, limit access, limit access for a month. Go quiet. And I bet, I promise, people are going to come out the woodworks that you didn't even imagine. Trees are going to come out the woodworks that you didn't even know would come your way, just because you made yourself a little less accessible.
I hope y'all
Accessibility.
listening, man.
Yeah, no, seriously, like, this is a gem. Like, this is a big one. You don't need accessibility to be vulnerable. Hide a bit. Put yourself up a little bit. Hide the gem. I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemmy gem. I'll be hiding the gem. Real, I would say,
When your
consistent.
birthday?
June 1st, number one, not the two, three,
Shout
four, or
out to the
five.
Geminis, baby.
Shout out
Hey.
to the gems. We keep it rocking and rolling. But yeah, you don't need to be accessible to be valuable. Stop guilt tripping yourself. Stop guilt tripping yourself for choosing solitude or silence. It's This isn't a guilty moment. This isn't a moment for you to listen to old boy next door talking about, come outside, come over, come kick it, let me come over. No, 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 no. This is the perfect time for you to be like, no, thank you. I'm in a moment of solitude. And give yourself a pat on the back when you do that. Say no to the young lady that wants to pack her spending night bag and come over for the night. No, ma'am. Thank you for the offer, but I'm in a place of solitude and silence right now. But you have a lovely night. She gonna find somebody else to go spend the night with. I promise. That's how these generations work these days. These jobs too. One person out, another person in. Sometimes protecting your peace is the only way to hear God again. It's the only way to hear your ancestors speak to you once again. It's the only way to hear universe cultivate blessings back to you again. Silence, stillness. We're not talking about stillness of no movement, you not knocking off the small goal list, big goal list. No, we're talking about we're talking about productive rest. We're talking about scheduled healing, purposeful healing. Okay. So sometimes protecting your peace is the only way to get back rooted. And I mentioned that though: solitude, silence, seclusion, isolation. These are tools used by some of the most powerful, most intelligent politicians, creators, inventors. artists, musicians, whatever. The smartest of the smartest know that isolation and seclusion is when sometimes when they get the best of their work done. Why do you think a lot of the 1%, more than likely in their homes, they have a whole office just for themselves? Seclusion. Come on now. Be intentional with your softness. Not everyone deserves access to your nurturing spirit. I know us women, we want to show a man before we get the ring that we are wife material. No. You show inklings, you show parts of that personality. You cultivate that environment for them, but you don't overfeed, you don't overlove, and you don't overgive your energy there where you become overlooked. That's not what we're doing here. Be intentional with the soft acts. Not everyone deserves access to that. Reserve your softness for the spaces that hold you gently. Now, if that man is doing everything he possibly can for you, if that woman is doing everything under the sun she possibly can for you, that you also want, she's knocking off the things off your list, he's knocking them off the list. Y'all are going in the right route for y'all to be holding space for that gentleness to allow the environment of intentional softness. Okay, you're allowing that table to finally put the table spread on. We can start putting placemats on there now. But don't just think we finna just come together and the table's all set and put together and you just gotta sit down and I'm gonna serve you the plate. That's not how that works on any side of it. Man, woman, woman, man, that's not how that works. You need to be intentional with your softness, truly. My beautiful people, my talented people, my intuitive people, this is gonna be so important for you because people are gonna see you and they're going to want what you offer, what you have the ability to put on that table. The fact that you already recognize that you have that ability is amazing. That's great. Put a bow on it and put it in a box, put it to the side. Okay. Now, every so and so, take something out of that box and put it on the table. You're setting up the table. You're setting up the placemat. You know what I mean? So I really do feel as if holding space and being intentional with your softness is going to be really important for us highly intuitive, talented, and attractive people. Don't overgive, don't overlove, and don't allow extra space for people to come take from your nurturing soul. You talented, beautiful people, hold on to it, embrace it, and let it out when you're called to, when that environment is set up for you to release that finally, not out of force, naturally. Natural release. A lot of times, pardon me, us attractive, intuitive, and talented people, we feel like we're too much. We feel like we don't fit in a lot of times, you know? We feel like we have too many layers to us. And that can be hard when it comes to interacting with other people. That can be hard when it comes to making relationships and building them. And that probably more or less can tend to the reasons why a lot of beautiful people, highly attractive people, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see them alone. 8 times, 7 times out of 10, more times likely, you are going to see them alone, partaking with themselves rather than being in large groups. A person, a best friend, a partner sticking beside them. Sometimes the most attractive people are the loneliest people, quite frankly, quite honestly. You are layered. That's right. You are luminous. Yes, you are learning. And that's not overwhelming. It's rare. It's very rare for someone to be so talented, so attractive socially, spiritually, mentally, literally. It's very hard to find that and then to add on being layered and having so many essential sensual parts of yourself. It's rare and you've got to understand that you are a rarity. You're not common. So don't treat yourself like you're common. Don't even do that. You're not too much. Don't ever believe it. Because if you were too much, the things you're doing wouldn't even exist. But there's people doing it times 10. So that's got if you're too much, what are they? The people you're looking up to, the people you take notes from, the hobbies you're learning about, the creators of those hobbies, were they too much, you know, or were they the most? You feel me? So I redirect "you're too much" because all growing up I've heard that. Trust me. Coming and getting in high school, being in high school, being in different colleges, and I was in a predominantly PWI, like a white high school, I'd say. Um, where my cohorts, my fellow students, they weren't fond of me. I did get called, you too much, you doing too much, you talk too proper, this that, you think you better than everybody. Maybe, maybe. But back then I didn't know. I promise I didn't know back then. I was looking at it like, okay, maybe I do need to settle down a little bit. Maybe I am too loud, too bright. Like maybe I'm just too much. Maybe I just need to just chill a little bit. No, no. Fast forward, baby, you're right. I am too much. That's right. You're correct. Yeah. Everything you're thinking about me, everything I know I am is exactly who I am. So thank you for reconfirming that for me. You're not too much, my creatives. Keep being creative. Keep being great. Matter of fact, wake up tomorrow and be better. Do more. Do too much. Tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Do it over and over and over again until you get too much. And then what? And then what they gonna say? Oh, all right. Yeah, you're not too much.
Woo! Woo! Live with Mia Justine, baby. Go in.
Yes, very much so live. Very much so live in here. My last point, and I'm gonna do my closing mantra because I always love to give you guys a mantra at the end of these. Let your boundaries teach people how to teach you. Let's redo that one. Number 10. Let your boundaries teach people how to treat you. Come on now. Your boundaries are like an ebook to how you want to be treated. And if someone is telling you dead up or even beating around the bush in a way, no, I'm not going to serve that boundary. No, I'm actually going to overlook that boundary. I'm actually going to ignore you and act like you never even stated that was one of your boundaries. Those aren't your people. That's not your person. Cut them off. That ain't your friend. That ain't your man. That ain't your girl. You feel me? That might have been little cuz, but now they on block list. You feel me? So, we really have to start letting our boundaries talk for themselves, speak for themselves. When I place a boundary down, the people around me, uh, they definitely know how to get with the program. I mean, and vice versa. When someone comes to me and they say, "Hey, I have a new boundary I want to talk to you about," and or pardon, I've learned something about myself that I want to bring to your attention, and I want to place a boundary around it. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna hear you out, and this is not a time for me to say, "Oh, I have boundaries too. I want to talk about." Not at all. That's not the appropriate time. This is time for me to hear your boundaries so that I can what know how to treat you. You have got to set boundaries to almost guide people. Unfortunately, humans are almost like toddlers um, when it comes to understanding and engaging with other humans. You have got to almost reteach humans how to treat humans correctly, especially in this day and age. It's horrible to say that, but it is. Don't preach self love. Don't just preach it, live it. Live it. Live how you expect to be treated. Live how you expect to be booked. Live how you expect to be paid. And live how you expect to be spoken to. Yeah, that's number 10. That's definitely number 10. I love that one. That was a great. Mm. And my closing mantra to y'all,
Love it.
my closing mantra has got to be I am not here to shrink. I am here to rise with grace, with softness, and with standards. Yes.
Give it again, man. Come on. Come
I
on.
know it. Yes. Closing mantra. We got to say it one more time. I am not here to shrink. I am here to rise with grace, with softness, and with standards. Yes.
There it is, man. Clock it. Come on.
Clock that T.
Mia
Yes.
Justine, baby.
Love that. I love that.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, we dropped
Beautiful,
some
beautiful.
gems tonight. I really hope people were taking some good notes because this is one of those podcasts that you you sit and you almost rewind some parts because it hit your chest.
Yeah,
It gives you goosebumps. You're like, oh,
yeah.
whoa, okay, jeez.
Hey, I ain't a smoker no more, but if you smoke, you may want to roll one.
I'm
You
about to
know,
say, baby, look, as soon as I get off,
like you may need to pull up,
yeah, I'm
like
about to say, pull you up some
do
little
what you do,
whiskey.
cause this one of them classics, man. You know,
Yeah, this
so
one of them ones.
play it back, get your notes. Before we go, man, tell the people again who you are, what you do,
Absolutely.
where can they find you, give them the
Yeah.
website, give them the
Yep.
DMs, you know, go
Got
in
it.
about what you got coming up, where can they find you, network, go in.
Yes, yes. So again, I am Mia Justine. I am a celebrity assistant to the Bernie Mac Foundation. I am an entrepreneur. I own a brand called Justine's Fitness. I'm a model. I'm also a full time college student studying computer science and cybersecurity. Now, the main thing we're going to really boost here is Justine's Fitness because this correlates to our mental health episode here today. If you need any one on one consultation when it comes to fitness, my brand is exactly where you need to be. My personal page gives more or less motivational talks, lifestyle conversations. Those pages are my fitness page is Justine's Fitness. That's JustineSFittnes. Justine's Fitness. And my personal page is Miahjustine, Mia Justine. And you can follow me on those Instagram pages. I do have TikTok. It's all in my bios. I got my link tree all in there. I am dropping an ebook soon on the Justine's Fitness page. So please be on the lookout for that. My one on one consultation list is already open. Go ahead, sign up for that. I'll be choosing some amazing people to join me on this journey and keep in contact with you. And I can't wait to get in contact with you all.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. You know, just creating that tribe, man. So make sure you
Yes,
holler at me or Justine, man. Mental health is so important today in
it
these last
is.
days. We don't know what's going on. So, you know, prioritize your health, man. You know, make time for yourself. Just again, beautiful, man. Much love to you. Shout out to New Orleans. Appreciate the love. Shout out to Chicago. Uh, just anything
Yes,
you
shout
want to
out to
add
my
before you
city.
go, man, before we get out of here?
Anything I want to add? Well, I want to add, shout out to Chicago, born and raised. Yeah, big sea town over here, big windy city. You know how
All
I'm rocking and
right.
rolling. South side is cool, north side, we with it. You feel me? I do want to say thank you so much for having me. This was an amazing opportunity to get myself more put on the camera here for podcasting and whatnot. And to the people watching, I want to let you all know that this is a season that rest is going to be important. Really prioritize your mental health, check on others, check on your strong friends, check on yourself, and really love yourself. I love you. So,
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Much love, man. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.
yes, yes.
I wanna
Thank
go in
you.
on more dating and stuff like that,
Yes,
man. We gotta do
yes.
it again, man. But
Yeah.
classic episode, Mia Justine. Much love. Shout out to the YouTube family. Shout out Black L. Shout out TikTok. We out, baby.
Bye.